Hi everyone, so I'm here to share the Logan series' new book, Imperfect Pursuit, which is out now. I've heard over the years many women say, I want to be like Esther, I want to be like Deborah, I want a kind of Deborah anointing upon my life. I want to have the devotion of Ruth, I want to have the favour of Mary. Or even those who say, I want to be like Anna and just wait in the temple, wait there for Jesus and just be in his presence. But over the years, I've never heard women say, I want to be like the woman with the issue of the blood. And through this book, I had the most amazing blessing given by God of actually going deeper into her story and just receiving so much revelation about her character and about her journey. Now, the woman with the issue of the blood is actually in 3 of the Gospels. She's in Matthew, Mark, and in Luke. And each time you read them, you learn a little more about her story, her character. And if you read them in different translations as well, whether that be the Message or the Amplified or the NLT, you get to just learn even more. There's so much detail in there for you to receive. And everybody looks at her story as something that was really, really difficult. For those of you that know, she spent 10 years with a condition where she would bleed. And she did everything she possibly could in her own strength to fix herself, to help herself. She wasn't passive in her misery and in her suffering. She tried and tried and tried to bring the answer and to bring the solution. But then after 12 years of suffering, still with hope, still with faith, she heard that Jesus was coming to town. Now the crowd had called her unclean, unworthy to even be around them, let alone Jesus. She wasn't allowed in their vicinity. She was ostracized. She was called names. And this was all because of her condition and what she was walking through, what she was going through. They deemed her unclean. But when Jesus came on the scene, she didn't care what the crowd said about her. She didn't care about her condition. Nothing was going to stop her from getting to Jesus. And one of the things that she says is, if I just touch the hem of his robe, I will be healed. She knew that Jesus had miraculous power to heal her, and she didn't care about the crowd trying to stop her or her circumstances trying to stop her. She was going to make her way to Jesus, even if it killed her. And that is what she did. Her circumstances were trying to crush her. The crowd were all jostling around him. But she reached and she reached, even in the midst of bleeding and suffering. She reached and she took a hold of his robe and touched his hem, just as she said she was going to. And instantly she was healed. He knew that somebody had touched him. He knew that his power had gone out of him. And in that moment, she was no longer the woman with the issue of the blood, because Jesus took notice of her. Jesus brought her to his face in the midst of all the crowd, in the midst of all of them that had been calling her names and deeming her unclean. He brought her face to face with him, and he called her daughter. So this is the story of that amazing woman. And after reading it and after sitting in all of that revelation and sitting in the accounts in the Gospels, I want to be like the woman with the issue of the blood. And the reason we need to say that is because she is not that woman anymore. That issue left when she touched the hem of his robe, and she became daughter. She became healed. And she was able to go in peace as he commanded her to go. So we need to look at her story and know that she is not that woman anymore, to the point where I don't even want to call her the woman with the issue of the blood, because she no longer has that issue. She is healed, and I want to celebrate that healing. So if you want to read a book about devotion, faith, tenacity, persistence, going against the crowd when they want to tell you that you can't, going against your circumstances when those circumstances are telling you to stop, when you believe in something and you just need to keep on going, because if you just touch his hem, everything will change. If you want to read that, then Imperfect Pursuit is now available on Amazon, and it's available through the Logan Series website, www.theloganseries.com. So I pray that this woman inspires you to keep on going, to keep on pushing, to keep on seeking him and reaching for him. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what the circumstances tell you, put out your arm and reach, because he will always meet you in that place, and he will always do the impossible. God bless.